everyone, welcome back to another episode of Different, Not Divided, the podcast where we talk about reality, identity, and navigating life together. I'm Asifa. Today, Chloe, Khushi, and I will discuss the book Working in Teams Moving from High Potential to High Performance by Dr. Brian A. Griffith and Ethan B. Dunham, specifically their perspective in diversity, its benefits, its challenges, and how we can thrive within diverse teams. Welcome back to our channel.
Thanks, Asifa. I'm really looking forward to this discussion. Diversity is something that impacts us all, and it's so important to understand it not just socially, but also within team environments and workplaces.
Absolutely. I'm excited to contribute, reflect, and learn from you guys.
Let me start with something that happened with me recently. I was at a drive-through, okay, grabbing coffee and talking to a colleague about a meeting that was, coming up. I hadn't had my caffeine yet, so I was a little irritable. Then he goes, "Are you on your period? Why are you so worked up?" I was shocked. It was frustrating because these kinds of comments actually reinforce gender stereotypes about women.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's so relatable. Comments like that, even if it's meant as a joke, are like microaggressions and reveal deeper biases and gender behavior.
Yeah. And as Griffith and Dunham point out on page 152, these moments often rise from unconscious biases, which are, quote, constructed beliefs about certain groups of people that shape our assumptions. People don't always intend harm, but the impact is real.
Exactly, it's what makes these biases so difficult to address. They show up subtly and frequently, and when they go unchallenged, they build environments where certain people are devalued or excluded.
Since you two are international students, have you ever experienced diversity-related conflict or misunderstanding of some kind?
Yeah, I have. Like in one of my class, I was explaining a topic passionately, and somebody mocked my accent. I was visibly upset about it, but someone near me just whispered, like, "Why are you being so sensitive about me?" I was stung more than the mockery. It made me feel like I'm an outsider.
Yeah, that's incredibly disheartening.
Yeah.
You were simply contributing to the discussion and you deserve respect.
It's painful when your identity becomes a target of ridicule, especially in settings where everybody should feel safe to share their thoughts or propose their thoughts. What made it worst was being labeled as emotional rather than engaged or thoughtful. That framing diminishes your input and shows how emotionally expression is judged differently based on your identity.
Totally.
It's moments like these that remind us why feeling safe in the workplace is so important.
Yeah.
Griffith and Dunham reference a study on page 157 that finds just how important it is to allow team members to express themselves and share their thoughts without fear of being ridiculed, silenced, or excluded. It's foundational to productivity and trust.
Yeah, that's why I've learned to own my voice. I've had my moments of doubt, but I remind myself that my contributions are valid and I'm valuable.
Yeah, totally. Teams grow stronger when all of the voices are heard.
Mhm.
The goal isn't to avoid conflict, but to handle it constructively, something that the book emphasizes as key to successful team dynamics.
I've also tried to address this by respectfully asserting boundaries. If I hear something inappropriate, I say, "That wasn't okay," or "Could we rethink that?"
Yeah.
It may be uncomfortable, but it opens the door to reflection and change.
This brings me to the concept of psychological safety. The book stresses just how vital it is for meaningful collaboration. It builds respect, trust, and engagement, allowing people to contribute ideas and express themselves freely, which leads to more innovative outcomes in the team.
Yeah, when diversity is met with empathy and understanding, it turns into a powerful force, not just for individual growth, but for organizational success too.
Speaking of that, the Deloitte case in the book is a perfect example. Deloitte ranks consistently in the top 50 of diversity because they prioritize, quote, developing a cross functional leadership pipeline that leverages diversity and ensures the future success of the company, which is also seen on page 149.
That's right. They offer international leadership development trainings to help their employees harness the benefits of working in diverse teams.
Yeah, and by doing this, they promote collective problem solving, innovations, inclusion across dimensions like age, gender, race, and more. When you encourage something and make it your priority, you can really make improvements, as we see here with Deloitte.
Griffith and Dunham reference Scott Page's concept of the cognitive toolbox from his book, The Difference, which I really enjoyed. The idea is that each person brings different mental tools to a team, ways of thinking, problem solving, communicating, creating a collective toolbox of sorts.
So, the more diverse the team, the more versatile and resilient the toolbox is. That diversity is exactly what prepares teams to accomplish a wide range of tasks effectively, just like we see in the Deloitte harnessing.
To everyone listening, if you have ever been on the receiving end of a stereotype, bias, or microaggression, know this: you belong. Your voice matters. You have the right to take up the space and be heard.
So true, Khushi. A little awareness, empathy, and courage can make a big difference in how we interact and build inclusive communities.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us on today's episode of Different Not Divided. If you'd like to share your story or reflect with us, message us on Instagram at Different Not Divided.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.